old school. Ben had the case, stock all wood. Perks don't make you Superman. This ain't Smallville. We got what in common? I wear gold like a descendant of Tutankhamun. You must be out your noodles, boy. I been top rhyming. The best round hair since 16.com. We don't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, real quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm going to let you know that this video was brought to you by Big Manscaped. Look at that, man. Big Manscaped in the building. Crazy products all up and down my shelf, man, because I use code Brunson, save 20% off, get the free shipping, and the free shipping I for that for y'all. So listen, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm going to let y'all know the project or the album is 90% done. 90% done. But I want something from one of you guys. If you guys know a DJ that could put some scratches on the record for me, he'll get credit on the project as well. You know what I'm saying? With the list of producers that I've been working with. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with old people, veterans. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you give me the sound that I'm looking for, that's what we're going for. So yeah, I need a DJ that could put some scratches on an already finished record, get that to my engineer ASAP, and then we inching towards, wrapping this joint up. So, tap in with me, hit me on the gram or something. We'll figure it out. DM me, we can figure something out. Let me talk about Howie Roseman real quick. Let me talk about Howie Roseman in a tweet that the Philadelphia Eagles put out, which was a quote to Howie Roseman. And let's discuss this in depth about, kind of what this means right here. So, the Philadelphia Eagles tweeted this. We have had a lot of discussions, a lot of good discussions about the players in this draft, and we just have to make sure we take the best players and not look at the draft as just a short-term fix. Howie Roseman. A quote by Howie Roseman, directly from Howie Roseman, from the horse's mouth, and I just think that that's not worth a tweet. You know what I mean? It's not worth a tweet. I understand they're letting us know as a fan base where they are right now. But if you have to explain to us, a guy who has botched many drafts, now that you're looking at taking best player available and not looking to short a fix and not looking to solve, a problem with a short-term fix, does this mean that's what you've been doing the whole time? Because you could still look back at the Jalen Reagor pick and just be disgusted with Howie Roseman and this draft selection process all over again. Yes, get the best player available, Howie Roseman. I agree, that's what you need to do, especially in a draft like this where you had this many holes. Get the best player available. You know what I mean? But still be smart, because sometimes the best player available is just not a guy that you need. You know what I mean? You gotta get the best player available for the most important holes at the time of the draft. So I agree, and I disagree with that best player available philosophy. But listen, if you got a bunch of wide receivers and the best player available is wide receiver, you don't get. You know what I mean? It's a lot of teams who not going to get a wide receiver because they got good wide receivers, but a wide receiver might be the best player available. So it's certain ways that you got to look at that, man, and whatever. To me, it's just like, man, they're just trying to calm the fan base down. And I feel like, Howie Roseman is feeling the pressure from this draft. I'm feeling the pressure for him because he got to get this right or he's going to lose faith in a lot of people in this year's draft. A lot of people. Now, speaking of, a lot of people, the Philadelphia Eagles have absolutely brung in everybody and their mom from a positional standpoint for a visit at the NovaCare Complex or even at the main facility. We're going to go over each of these names individually, starting from the first guy they brought in to the last guy. So reportedly, the first guy was Devontae Wyatt. Reportedly, this was the first guy. After that, it was Jordan Davis, so they brought the two Bama boys in. Then it was Sauce. Then it was Marcus Jones out of Houston. I like Marcus Jones out of Houston. I really do like him. Oregon defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau. Then they bring in Oklahoma defensive tackle Perion Winfrey. Then they start, bringing in guys, Tulsa offensive lineman Tyler Smith, Matt Carroll, Ole Miss, Penn State defensive end Jesse Lukita. Texas A&M offensive lineman, Kenyon Green. Clemson cornerback Andrew Booth. That's a strong one. I really like that as well. Penn State defensive end Arnold Ebikte. Y'all know I'm going to mess some of these names up. Western Kentucky defensive end D'Angelo Malone. Georgia, George Pickens, who's actually growing on me. Alabama, Jameis Williams. We know he a dog. Chris Olave. Jaquan Brisker, Penn State linebacker, Brandon Smith. Alabama linebacker, Christian Harris. I like that. We got to start thinking about this seriously now. That's a lot of people. I feel like if you go by how they started it and how they ended it, you could go by it in its totality. Let's count this up. 1, 2, 3. So they brought in 3 wide receivers. That's a concern for them. It's a concern for them. They brought in 1, 2. They brought in 2 linebackers, still a concern for them. They brought in multiple cornerbacks, 3 or more cornerbacks, I believe. You know what I mean? Let's just count them as defensive backs. They bring in a safety, a cornerback, and a safety. They bring in 4 total defensive backs. I mean, they're showing you what they think that they should be doing. You know what I mean? They feel like that they need to get better at linebacker. They still need help at wide receiver. They still need help at defensive back, and they still need help at defensive end. I think they're going to draft based upon, the positions that they bought in. Now, that makes the most sense, but with Howie Roseman, you just never know, man. You never know. So, right now, in my opinion, they're bringing in the right guys to look at. They're bringing in the right positions to look at because we need help in all of these positions. I just want to see it translate into success. So what I did was, into a successful draft. Because look, man, you can't be mad at the Giants for picking Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley looking like a bust right now. He looking like a bust right now. And my man Chase Young, they looking like busts to me right now. You can't be mad at them for picking them though, because they was rated pretty high. That's what happens when you pick best player available. Sometimes you can get let down by that. You know what I mean? If you don't do your due diligence. So what I did was I did the draft over and I started doing my due diligence on a few guys. And I got this is the last and final mock draft. I don't know if I'm doing one with Philly 500 tomorrow, but I know I'm on Philly 500 channel tomorrow. But this is the last mock draft personally from me, because I feel like that this mock draft really insinuates what you need. This mock draft puts you in a really, really good position. I don't want to hear nobody in the comments talking about he ain't going to be here at that. It's a mock draft. I didn't pick when these guys was going to be here. It's computer generated. Best player available, computer generated. So this is what I would do if the Philadelphia Eagles was in this situation in this mock draft. So I've been looking at George Karlaftis all damn weekend. All weekend I've been looking at George Karlaftis. All weekend. And I think if he's there, I would pick him with the 15th pick in this draft. I'm going to tell you why. When I see George Karlaftis play, I see TJ Watt and I see Bosa. I see them type of dudes, and them dudes are running the league from an edge rusher perspective. Dude is from Greece. Dude is an Iron Man. Dude is just built for destruction. And dude is going to do his job. Listen, I watched the tape, and dude is really like that, man. George Karlaftis, if he's there, I'm telling you, he's cut from that cloth. He could be one of the best edge rushers in this draft. I don't think they're talking about him enough because I just don't think he's going to test well. He probably ain't going to do the nice cone drill. He ain't going, you know what I mean? He's not going to test well. But some dudes just got a motor, and some dudes just born from hard work, and it just translate to the next level, especially at this edge rusher position. So I went with him, man. 18, man. I noticed that it was a lot of stuff still on the board. With George Karlaftis slipping like this, it was all type of players right there in my grasp at 18. I could have got Jordan Davis, I believe. I could have got Devontae Wyatt, might have been gone, but there was a lot of people there at 18. So I traded back 2 spots with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean? Because we got a lot of holes to fill, and I could use this capital in this draft. And I think Howie Roseman thought that way, you know what I mean, when he did the deal with the Saints as well. So I traded the 18th pick for the 20th pick and the 18th pick. So I let them move up to 18 for their 20th pick and, their 3rd round pick of 84. That put us in a real good situation in this mock. At 20, Chris Olave was still there. You know what I was doing with that. Give me that, Chris Olave. At 51, Leo Chenal was still there. I'm so high on Leo Chenal, man. I think Leo Chenal is the best linebacker in this draft. You can talk to me all you want about Nicole Dean. You can talk to me all you want about them guys. I'm disappointed that the Philadelphia Eagles didn't bring him in for a visit. But, they didn't bring him or George Karlaftis in for a visit. And I think these 2 guys are at the top of the class in their respective divisions. You know what I mean? So I do that right there at pick 51. Now, granted, I got the 83rd pick. Is that the pick? No, I already had the 83rd pick. So I go to Brian Cook from Cincinnati. I really like this kid. I really, really like Brian Cook from Cincinnati. He's the most, technical sound guy. He's never going to be out of position, and he rarely, really misses a tackle. I really like that guy, and I just can't imagine passing him up at 83 if he's there, especially you need a safety. Roddy McLeod is out of the picture. You know what I mean? Steven Nelson is gone. You need help in the defensive back area. Look at the guys we were bringing in. So it's a great pick. So then I doubled down, man. I see Marcus Jones from Houston, man. Listen, got to get him. If he's there, you got to get him. I mean, what's the point of not getting a guy like Marcus Jones from Houston, especially if you brought him in for a visit? You brought him in for a visit. You're already building some type of rapport with the guy. He's familiar with the organization. If he's there at 84, you go grab that. So what the trade did for me was give us the 83rd and the 84th pick. We was able to double down right there. Then I get to pick 101. I know I got Leo Chenal, but if Channing Tindall is there at pick 101, the guy that was the second best linebacker on his team behind Nicole Dean, a championship, Georgia Bulldog team, you got to get that, man. Listen, I believe the linebacking core is really, really revamped. I believe it's going to be much better than what it was in recent years, but you got an opportunity to set the linebacking core up for the future. You know what I mean? If you get a guy like Leo Chenal and Channing Tindall, you should go ahead and do that. At pick 124, I went for Luke Fortner out of Kentucky. That's a steal, man. He was rated the 105th guy. You know what I mean? And you got to make that move. You don't know what's going to happen with Jason Kelce after this year. This could be a guy you could be grooming. This is why I say you don't shoot the gun and you don't go grab homeboy out of everybody to Linderbaum. You don't go grab him. You know what I mean? Because that's a superstar center who needs to be starting from day one. Or that's how they're perceiving him. You don't want a guy at that high of a draft pick not contributing immediately. But Kelce gonna start every game, so I just don't think you should do it. Pick 154. I went and got another wide receiver. Listen, it makes sense. You know what I mean? This guy, I actually got a D grade for this one. This is the lowest graded pick. But listen, man, Jalen Reagor averaged 17 yards a game. That's why I went ahead and did that. Speaks for itself. I went and got a guard simply because, like I said, with our center leaving, we might need some interior help. We did lose Brooks. We ain't had him for a minute though, but that's just for for giggles. I went and got linebacker Pierre Strong, man, from South Dakota State. I'm sorry, running back with the 166 pick. And then I went and got another cornerback with the 237th pick. I don't know much about those last two guys, but hey, man. Positions, you need these guys. You need guys to, bring competition, and you could do that, with these last couple picks in this draft. So I think it's imperative. It's imperative that the Philadelphia Eagles try to fill as many holes as possible. And as you can see, this was an A draft. You know what I mean? I know I've been a big Devontae Wyatt guy, but I think I had to rethink it, man. George Karlaftis is not a bad pick at that position either. But I'm always going to have Olave on this list because I think he's at the top of his class in this respective division. So let me know what you guys think about this mock draft. The last one of the season. The draft is coming up. Today is my birthday. I'm going to put this video out immediately for you guys, April 25th. And all I want for my birthday is for y'all to find me that DJ who can record some scratches on this record so I can get this music out to you guys as soon as possible, man. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. Have a good day. You know the vibes.